I have a question for guys. Quick fire question. Biggest challenge in the film?
Oh my god.
But yeah, I know, it was like a continuous challenge all the way throughout. It's a continuous challenge.
It was, yeah.
One of the biggest challenges were fundraising and having the money to make the project, because as students, the university gives us just a little tiny bits of the crumbs from the bread to make this project, and it didn't even cover, I would say, anything. So we had to find the money our own way.
And that's why big thank you to Tim
Greenwood.
For putting through. That was honestly.
Tim Greenwood, he got the title of our executive producer.
Yeah.
He donated a lot of money. He gave us a lot of money to be able to make this vision come true. So thank you very much, Tim. Thank you, Tim. He's gonna see it tomorrow. He's gonna see it tomorrow.
Thank you for my macro lens.
Hell yeah! He's gonna see it tomorrow at the premiere. We hope you enjoy. I mean, by the time you see this, you'll have watched it and have enjoyed. All right, Felix, biggest challenge.
I think for me as the editor, the biggest challenge was just having to accept that it'll always change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have this cut and you could be so satisfied with it, but the next moment something's got to change. It's not the final assembly, and just being kind of not getting too familiar with what you've edited, because the next day it could be completely different. So just being aware of that, it was a struggle, but I think it helped the project in the end.
I think that pre-production there was a lot of challenges, but I had everything under control, like deadlines and everything. Like I was always on top of things, especially like directing my departments, my lighting and camera departments. Like everything was good, even though it was a lot of work. But I think definitely out of question, like my biggest one was production. Like I was dying, like I literally was dying. So I was really ill, and that was to me the hardest part. I can't even think about that like shooting, because I was literally like in and out, passing out, like it was just awful. And that's why I thank my camera crew and lighting crew so much, because they really were there for me. Like I really it was able to be done. It was so tough that I wouldn't have done it without them. Like that's why. But yeah,
Can I just say this for you? I remember during the production, in the morning, I came to the set and everyone was setting up, and then I remember, where's Lucy? And then they were like, we don't know. So I'm calling Lucy, and then I was like, where are you? I'm gone. And then she just told me this on the phone. She was like, we are at the ER, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then she told me like they're rushing from place to place. Plus, she's dealing with everything that needs to be at the set, as well as taking care of the director of photography. That's how bad his situation was.
Yeah.
Driving to and from hospital and then cutting between like Sainsbury's to grab the food for the crew on the way back.
Yeah.
Just
morning of the first day of shoot, we're picking up equipment, and I get a call that hey, the cinematographer is ill and he's in hospital. God damn.
And that
it's insane what you created while on the verge of death.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it was so like the whole visuals of the film was so, because like I said, like I had done so much work in the early stages that even though I was incapable of a lot of things during production, it was like muscle memory. Like I knew everything that I had to do. So I was struggling. Like I just knew what to do. And the shots were just like already imprinted in my mind. So it was just like muscle memory. Like I was just doing things without even realizing I was doing them. So that's why it's so important to prepare things properly beforehand. The most amount of work that you put in during pre-production, the better your film's going to be. But also that takes time, it takes dedication. It's just not easy.
I think it's obviously it's a hard question to ask. I think what I'm gonna remember looking back on this film as the biggest, as the standout challenge maybe, is gonna be like the amount of just moving parts and elements that we had to figure out how we're going to practically pull them off in the film. You know, how are we going to build the walls? How are we going to do snow? How are we going to have you know, a white background? How are we just literally, how are we doing that? And it was almost naive to go into a project that has so many like just moving parts that you've got to figure out. But like, to be honest, that's the nature of filmmaking. You know, every film you make will come with its unique challenges that you've never encountered before, and that's part of the fun, figuring it out. You know, so definitely like figuring out those things. But moving towards the future, in the next project, I definitely want to focus more on working with actors. You know, not that I didn't work with them here, because of course I did, but I want to work with dialogue in the next project. I want to work with, you know, 2-3 people all talking together and you know, having conflict between them. That kind of thing. You know, more of a normal thing in that sense. But of course, I'm going to find a way to, you know, throw some unique spin and twist on it. Yeah.
I'm calling time on the interview because we're going to get kicked out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I get a
There
3,
was
2,
supposed to be
1?
quick fire questions.
Hey, those are pretty quick and sweet. All right. All right. I'll say one last time. These 4 guys around me, this shit wouldn't begin to be possible without these 4 guys. I am so fucking glad that all of you came on board and created this film with me. Like, thank you all so much. You guys were amazing to spend the last year with. You guys were all amazing. You did amazing work. Thank you so much. And thank you, Lamplight Media, for the interview.
Love that video! Love that video!
Can I get a 3, 2, 1 Elijah's Walls?
Yeah!
3, 2, 1.
Elijah's Walls!
This is a story about the courage to dream.